video we will talk about on how to get a spouse visa in UK. My husband will be the one to talk about that. Okay.
I'll talk about most of it. I did most of the application for my wife to get the visa. Obviously we've done it successfully, so we wanted to try and help with some people. Trying to answer a few questions. If you've got any questions, you can put them in the comments. We'll also put a few links in there, useful links, websites, forums that we found useful.
Yes.
Go through some of the prices first. It's for a spouse visa, £1,523 for a spouse visa. Now that only lasts for 2.5 years. You get a 2.5-year visa, then you have to apply again. On top of that, you get the £1,200 NHS surcharge that you have to pay for the visa. Again, that only lasts 2.5 years. You have to apply again after you've been successfully approved. 2.5 years, you have to apply again. I've just heard recently that's going up even more. It's going up an extra £600 in October this year, 2020. So you can bear that in mind if you want to apply, get that in your application in a bit sooner. Now, on top of that, you can pay an extra £800 for priority service.
Yeah.
It gets really expensive if you start paying for priority services. It just gets the visa a bit quicker.
Yeah. So big.
But we didn't really need it because even on a standard visa, I think it took about 2 months. 2 months, something like that. It's pretty quick. So that's what you need for the prices, or the basic prices you need. One of the sort of main points of confusion, I think, is how much your spouse needs to earn. With dependents, people get a bit confused with this. I got a bit confused with it. So it's £18,600 that your partner, your spouse, your husband or wife needs to earn in the United Kingdom. It's an extra £3,800 if you're bringing in a dependent as well onto that. So it's like a stepchild. You have to pay an extra £3,800 to earn. An extra £3,800 for your first child. For your second child, it's an extra £2,400. So yeah, it soon racks it up. But obviously, if it's your own child, like you're married, you don't have to pay that extra charge. We got the right of abode for our son, which was the easiest way of doing that. It's all the application is done online on the internet. Bit of a confusing system, really. All your documents have to be scanned, put online, and really the whole website, immigration website, I found is very confusing. It's crashing quite a lot. You're trying to upload your documents onto there, which is quite important documents, vital documents, really, to make sure they get through. And it was crashing, saying there's errors, and then there was no real way of telling whether your document has been uploaded successfully. What I did, I just basically uploaded two of everything. So I had to scan and uploaded 2 of everything to make sure at least one got through. Yeah, as well as those costs, you've also got costs of having an English test, like a lot of countries, most countries really. My wife's from the Philippines, so my wife had to do an English test.
Yes.
But I think it's you found it quite easy, didn't you?
Yeah, it's very easy. If you want, you can have a video on YouTube. There is some video there how to get test, and you can I will share also on how to get my English test and some tips also. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of good forums out there, like immigration boards. UK immigration boards is a great one. A Filipino one, in our particular case. Loads and loads of people going through the same kind of experiences with lots of information you get off them. But I would say as well, there is a flip side to that. If you look at too many of those forums, it gets very confusing because some people are telling you different things. So you ask a question and you get two different answers. So in the end, I found the best way was to get all your information, all your requirements, documents that they want directly from the government website, the .gov website. List exactly what documents you need. There's no room for confusion really. Get a list by list, exactly what they want. Otherwise, it just gets too confusing. You start asking questions. Too many questions on the forums.
Yeah.
As well as that, you've got the TB test. Again, not for every country. So you can find all the information what countries need to undergo a TB test to make sure they're clear of TB, tuberculosis. That was £65 for the test. There's quite a few countries in there that require one. And what was that? You had was it X-ray?
Yeah, I had X-ray. Yeah.
Yeah, and for the English test, £150 that was. Yeah, has to be from an approved centre as well. So,
we will provide the link and some places on how and if where I get in Philippines, like TB test and English test. Yeah.
yeah. I mean the documents that they sort of ask for depends on the category you're in. But I mean, if you're in, like I was in category F, you got categories A to G. Category A is for if your spouse is employed, under employment, has to have 6 months worth of pay slips to prove that he's earned this £18,600 a year. B is summer employed as well. Category C is if your spouse is getting money from property rentals, dividends, things like that. D is from cash savings. But probably one of the simplest ways actually of getting the visa. I would have thought, but you need a lot of money. That's a problem. £62,500 worth of cash savings, a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's category D. Could go that way. Category E, if your spouse is getting money from a pension. And all of these categories have different documents requirements that they need to send. Category F, which was our category, but I think it must be the most complicated. Director of a limited company. The list of documents was just unreal. I mean, it took hundreds of pages in the end. I mean, some of the documents that they asked for are quite difficult to get. I mean, my company was 15 years old, and asking for original documents when the company was set up. I did have them in the end, but yeah, just lots of documents. Category G is again self-employed like director, but instead of giving evidence of 1 year's accounts, you have to give evidence of 2 years' accounts that you've earned that £18,600 a year. So just some of the documents, most important documents for every category, I think, is probably your pay slips and your bank statements. Now, your date and your amount on your pay slip needs to match the date and the amount that's shown in your bank statements. Lots of problems. People have lots of problems with this. Rejections. But I'm never sure when you look at some of these forums if you're getting the whole picture. Because our application wasn't perfect. dividends. Some of the dividends weren't exact, but all I did was write an explanation, explain everything, why it didn't match, and I had no problem getting through. So I'm not sure exactly how strict they are. I think they do give a bit of leverage. The sort of evaluation officer does give some room. I don't think they're really as strict as some of the sort of horror stories you read on the forums. People are rejected for very simple things like that. So yeah, payslips, amounts and dates should match. Bank statements, they have to be not online copies. They need to be direct from your bank. What I did as well as getting paper statements direct from my bank, I got evidence that they were genuine. So I got a letter from my bank just to show these are genuine bank statements from my just everything. Just put a bit extra in, bit more evidence is better than not enough. There's basically four main sort of categories really, or sort of document areas that you need to do. Sponsor documents that we did, that's basically my passport, letters of support. Number 2 was all your financial documents. That was the most complicated, just loads and loads of them. Free accommodation, so you need to have somewhere for your spouse to come to that's not overcrowded. So there's no more than 2 people to a room. I think unless this is a baby under 1 year, I believe. So you need to get a letter from your landlord as well. So agreeing or authorising that your spouse is able to come here, or obviously if you've got a mortgage, your title deeds, your mortgage, and things like that. Number 4, relationships evidence. Photos, messages. I think we went back about a year's worth of those. This is one of the areas which is quite difficult to upload, because on the online application on the website, they've got a maximum maximum size, document size of 10 megabytes. Now if you've got lots of dog photos, I had mine all nicely sort of put down in a nice list, a nice document, and it was way over this 10 megabytes. So I had to actually go into try and use a program. Mine was smallpdf.com. I think they're doing a free trial at the time. I had to shrink some of these documents down to below 10 megabytes. So yeah, I'll put all the links in the description. But I think that's most of the stuff I thought of really. Yeah. If you do get approved to your visa, you only get a 30-day sticker to put in the spouse's passport. That's the window that have got to arrive in the UK. Now, unfortunately for us, that was in April when we got approved. That was in April 2020. Guess what happened in that month? Everything was cancelled. Flights were cancelled. We had a flight planned and booked for, I think it's the 5th of April. Very excited, and then all this, all these restrictions were put on, flight restrictions, everything. The flights were cancelled. Oh no, we're not going to get here. But thankfully, we still did manage to get a flight over in the end of April, despite all the restrictions. We got one through, thankfully. Otherwise, you've got to apply again for another 30-day sticker to get into your passport. And if you have to do that, you have to give your passport back into the immigration office and do that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all. One more thing I thought of, which I don't really see much of on other forums or anything like that. When you're paying for your spouse visa and your NHS surcharge, for some reason, especially from abroad, you have to pay in dollars. Now, I have no idea why you have to pay in dollars. I've never, got nothing to do with sort of American dollars, and I've even been to America, but everyone has to pay in dollars, and that's no problem. That'd be okay in itself. But they've got a very bizarre currency conversion rate. The government's got a very bizarre, very high. So in the end, I think we paid an extra £200. And there's lots of complaints about this actually on immigration forums. You've got no choice but to pay in dollars, which is almost £200 extra. So I'm not sure if they're still doing that. It's something worth looking into if there's a way around that. But I didn't find it. But yeah, if you've got any questions, write them in the comments. Put some useful links down there. And good luck. And yeah. Subscribe, like, and comment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for watching.
Hey, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
A couple more points I forgot to mention. Wanted to add on. Obviously, solicitors. You can pay a solicitor to organise all of this for you. All they do is tell you what to send. The reason why we didn't go down that route was because I had a few stories. Some of them you still get refused, and also it's just peace of mind that you're doing all the things yourself, so you've only got yourself to be responsible for it, and you can make sure everything's done properly. It really wasn't that, not the documents, but really I think you can do it yourself, and we thought it's a better option. Scanning documents, again, as I was mentioning about websites scanning documents, you can actually pay the immigration office to scan the documents for you. Give them the documents. I think it's about £65. Again, for a similar reason, really. I mean, Kenya, very important documents that these are scanned in. So I just found that scan it all myself. So then I can double check it, make sure it's all gone through properly. And when you do actually scan all your documents in, they've all hopefully been sent off, and then you get a sort of a printout. Then the next day you get an email telling you what actual documents have been sent. Now, when that was sent to me, some of the documents were missing. They were shown actually on the website. They were shown as being uploaded. So that was very confusing. It was actually shown on the website it had been successfully uploaded, but when I got an email the next day, it said some of them were missing. So I had to go back in, and then I just uploaded everything twice, because some documents are missing. That's going to be a big problem. So that's a little extra bit there, and good luck, and yeah, good luck on your applications. Okay, bye bye.